Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem of the Crypto episode 1123. Today is Wednesday, July 26, 2023, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday. What normally is a 10-ish day, but today is a 9-ish day. I have to go Hollywood today, folks, and be on set. Got some good shoots going on, so unfortunately, I got to get to an early start today, but I wanted to make sure we cover that crypto news. Thought about missing the show. Not a lot of stories today, but want to quickly cover these. Bitcoin gets $28,000 plunge protection with Bitcoin price due to new volatility. CFTC charges Tennessee couple over blessings of God through crypto scheme. And Reddit prepares to drop Gen 4 collectible avatars on Polygon. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices today. Ooh. Bitcoin is coming in at $29,261, up 0.51%. Ethereum's at $1,858, up 0.25%. Number 4, Ripple at 70 cents, up 1.78%. Dogecoin number 7 at 0.079 cents, or almost 8 cents, up 2.43%. Solana at number 9 at 24.49, up 6.91%. And Tron at the 10 spot with 8% up, or excuse me, at 8 cents, up 1.1%. Looking at the trending tokens, Royalcoin is trending, had a 7.44% bump. XRP is trending, and Dogecoin as well. And Fear and Greed Index is still hovering around 52. So again, it's 50-50, and that's actually roll straight into our actual first story of the day. But before I jump on that story, some quick shout outs. See the chat is still lit. Goodness gracious, do I need to get in here even earlier during the days? Y'all up here early. What's going on, BK Crypto, Alipio, Goodness, No Cap, Stacking Satoshis, Just Call Me L. What's going on, L Humney, Wisdom Bars, Madam Crypto, and Cario. Early start for the real, and notifications popping proper. There we go. Waking up on the right side of the bed. You already know. There we go. And Cario said, first, wipe your eyes and slap that like and share. That's what I'm talking about. I had to wipe my eyes as well and get going. Let's go ahead and roll to the top story. I'm not going to keep you all day. Let's get straight to it. Honestly, the top story is kind of what we were talking about yesterday and the last few days as far as price points of where Bitcoin could go. The Fear and Greed Index, as we saw, has it at a 52, 50, 50. We've been talking that saying, hey, it can definitely get a quick pump, or it could have a dip. It looks like that's what this article is going to be talking about. Bitcoin traders are predicting flash Bitcoin price moves despite almost unanimous market predictions as to what the Fed will do next. Listen, all I'm saying, Cointelegraph, it's the next day, people. It's 24 hours later after I say something. So they're not, it's either the writers or in position of power there who are pointing them in this direction. There's no way possible. I only look at headlines in the morning. I make an analysis, and then the next day or 2 days later, the headlines are the old analysis that's just made. Okay, this is crazy. But it says Bitcoin traders brace for classic volatility on July 26th as the United States Federal interest rate decision dawned. As it says here, let the games begin for Bitcoin. Data from Coin Markets Pro and TradingView show Bitcoin price action, of course, hovering around the 29,200, which we just. While barely moving since the start of the week, Bitcoin volatility was fully on market participants' radar when macro triggers just hours away. First of these be the Fed rates announcement was tipped to spark erratic, if unreliable, short-term Bitcoin price moves in line with tradition, but the announcement itself and subsequent commentary from Fed Jerome Powell were of interest on the day. The market has priced a 25 BPS rate hike and currently also believes this will be the last rate hike in a while. Popular trader Jill told Twitter followers in part of his latest analysis. This is what makes the event interesting, what Jay Powell says after the initial rate hike announcement. So if you remember my whole thing, when I think it might have been Friday, we were talking about TA and FA technical analysis, fundamental analysis. I'm like, it's still super early to do a lot of technical analysis for Bitcoin. Reason being is because it is literally being based off of these events, right? Elon Musk makes a tweet. All of a sudden, we rebranded to X. We might have Dogecoin on it. Like, who knew that was going to happen? Same thing with Bitcoin. It's like whether it's a price hike, from the Fed doing some type of interest rate hike or decrease, whether it is the Fed now coin launching, whether it's America saying Bitcoin is friendly or unfriendly, the point is that a part of that analysis has to be factored in from fundamental point of view, because everything isn't going off charts and price movement. It's going off the actual news cycle as well. So I just want to reiterate that about how important the fundamental analysis is, which is why we do this show daily, is because it's like, yeah, a headline could actually change the trajectory of the market, whether warranted or not. I had somebody ask me a week or so ago about Bitcoin Cash and it being the future of everything, and or at least its price point right now, where the price point could return back to, and is this a better buy than Bitcoin? But it's like narratives will actually do that. So again, analyzing order book composition on the largest global exchange, Binance on-chain monitoring resource material indicators noted that one or more entities were preparing for Bitcoin price to react to the Fed's with fresh losses. $16 million worth of what they're calling plunge protection, bid liquidity set at just below $28,000 on the day. Let the games begin is summarized in part of Twitter commentary. This is actually pretty cool though. So essentially, people are putting buy orders in at lower price points, which we've already kind of expected. It's crazy to actually see it being done at 28,000. I saw a meme that said like $30,000 Bitcoin of the year 2021, how exuberant and happy everyone was. Then it had like a $30,000 Bitcoin. It might have been 2022, but it had a $30,000 Bitcoin now in 2023, and everybody are acting like this is the worst thing possible. So that's not the case. This is still great to see. 2017 was only at $1,000, so we've still had a huge increase since then. But to note that there are actual institutions or people essentially putting what's called this new plunge protection out there. It's pretty cool because, again, the plunge protection already exists at like a 10K, 15K Bitcoin, 8K Bitcoin, 5K Bitcoin, those numbers, right? I think the value of Bitcoin is so high and trusted right now that if it were to fall to those levels, there are literally people who put their house up just for sale and say, I'll live out of a van and I'll buy the rest of Bitcoin. So the actually see is actually $16 million, what I'm assuming are going to be worth of buy orders here. It's pretty cool to see. But again, this is was they're calling the plunge protection, just in case Bitcoin actually does take a turn for the worse. It looks like the US dollar index currently in the midst of a modest rebound after hitting its lowest in over a year, trended downhill once more on the day, nearing 101. So when you're looking at that, when it comes to the Bitcoin price point, they're saying, hey, if that dips, we should also see the price of Bitcoin dip in relation to the fiat dollar value of that. So pretty interesting to see that this was actually a headline, to see that, hey, a breakout is coming. A lot of people are saying it as well. They think something's going to happen. Everybody's saying be patient. It could go either way. I still agree with that. The only unfortunate thing, though, is that I think it's going to go either way in relation to the headline. So again, highly manipulative. I don't even know if it's the word I'm about to make up right now. Manipulable. It has a high chance to be manipulated. And the reason why is because, again, literally, if the price sinks too low, and let's say the government, for whatever reason, actually wanted to pump it, they could just say, hey, they don't have to say it's accepted and it's legal now, but they could just say we're seriously considering this BlackRock ETF, and that's enough to drive that price point right back up to 32, 33K or something. So that's where it can become manipulation. That's where I see the market manipulation happen at there. But last quick thing, going with that dollar index, traditionally inversely correlated with risks and assets, and Bitcoin, DXY, the US dollar index, one-day chart, remains a topic of interest for some Bitcoin traders eyeing historical trends. Among them is this popular trader Mustache, who this week revealed a copycat Bitcoin DXY scenario echoing previous Bitcoin bull runs, where he argued that the Bitcoin breakout was going to happen at the same as saw in 2017, where it took 5 months for the peak. In 2020, it took 10 months. So they're saying 2023, that may be just a little bit longer, but they're expecting it. So I think we're all expecting the bull run. We just want to know if we can get a discount before it actually happens. All right, let me see what your thoughts are in the comments. This hoodie, what's going on, Yardy? I believe this hoodie was from Jake. Is this one of your hoodies? I think this is a Jake Fever hoodie. One of our crypto warriors in the comments will let you know here in a moment, but I'm pretty sure This is a Jake Fever featured hoodie. So go ahead and drop that address in the chat, Jake, if you don't mind, to make sure people get this as well. All right, what else is going on? CFTC is in the news. This was a pretty interesting story. Not the first time this happened. We've actually seen this many times, but I'm assuming it's a dollar amount which caught the attention because it definitely wasn't the volume. CFTC charges Tennessee couple over blessing of God through crypto scheme. That's right. Despite having no trading experience, a Tennessee couple convinced 100 people to hand over their money for a uniquely named crypto investment pool. Now, really quick, now I would say, in this space, there's becoming less of an excuse not to have experience, right? When I got started, I was trading Bitcoin and crypto and not having experience, right? But that's why I wanted to do Bitcoin and crypto, because I wanted to actually trade the traditional market. But at the time, you had to have at least $25,000 in an account, like E-Trade or whatever, in order to execute more than 5 trades a month. That was their rules, not ours. Here comes along Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, no barriers to entry. So I'm not going to knock them for that. That's how I kind of got my start. And what I will say as well is, that's why I always say on the show, I'm like, hey, in crypto, I mean, you only need 200 or 300 real supporters. We've said that so many times when we talk about these numbers and how many views we get compared to whoever else is like, whatever. I don't know what their business is of it or how much they make, but in this space, you only really need 200 to 300 real supporters, and you can make do for the most part. So I want to point that out where, again, this volume as low as 100 supporters. He only had 100 people who was ready to invest with this group of people. The unfortunate thing wasn't their actual trading experience. It was that they actually weren't even trading, right? So that's where the legality and the criminality of this comes into. Is like when you're telling people, hey, I'm taking your money, I'm trading, and I'm taking your money, I'm getting Bitcoin and crypto. It's like, no, you're not doing any of those things. You're driving off the car lot with a new exotic, or you're buying a new mansion. So that's where I kind of see the biggest issue with this at. I'll get into this story. It was a Tennessee husband and wife. They're facing charges over the blessings of God through crypto. Hey, and shout out to all people in New York and California who doesn't understand like how Trump got elected and stuff. And I always tell them, I'm like, you all don't understand the Bible Belt. You haven't been to the South. You haven't been to the deep South, especially. But it's funny that this is actually the name of it. Because while this might catch people off guard, like, I can't believe they invested in it. If you live in the South, you've been to the South, you've been near the Bible Belt, you know that name is enough to get some people rolling, right? So that's what they did. This is, again, a husband and wife facing charges over the blessings of God through crypto. I cannot believe this. An allegedly fraudulent investment scheme that swindled at least $6 million from over 100 victims in just 6 months. Again, I would say the most egregious thing will be the price point on that, because I can tell you now, there's probably like, essentially this is like a crypto family fund or a crypto friends fund. There's probably thousands of these by now. And most of them, if they're lucky, might see 100K, right? Might see 6 figures. So I think the biggest thing here was the amount of money in Tennessee. $6 million is a lot of money. And then the second thing is probably the type of victims you have. You got $6 million from 100 people. You probably have some professionals in there. And those professionals probably understand how to use the FBI hotline. They probably have other friends who are political people, who are regulators. They probably made some phone calls. They was like, something is awry here. So it was a July 24th complaint from the Commodity and Futures Trading Commission, said that Michael and Amanda Griffiths used the connections they made in their real estate business to convince people to fork their savings over to a multi-million-dollar investment pool between July 2022 and January 2023. This is where I do not feel for the victims, because, again, just because a person is good in real estate, they're good on Wall Street, they're good on the bank, does not mean they're going to be good for crypto. But it looks like some of their victims were mortgage brokers, former customers of their real estate business, so on and so forth. You can see here, this is an actual official tweet from the CFTC. They're like, we want to make sure they know. Oh my goodness, I just actually went to Twitter. I realized they rebranded to X already. That's hilarious. But this is an official tweet from them. From X, I guess, is not Twitter anymore. I don't know what the deal is going on over there. But again, they're saying they had no experience. They convinced over 100 people to send them $6 million, and they blew it. They said as a part of the scheme, pool participants were told their funds would be used to trade crypto futures contracts. However, not a single trade was ever conducted, said the CFTC. Again, this is one of those things where if you're This is how I know is like it sucks. It's probably like these people did great real estate business with these folks, and they was like, through your real estate business, I can trust you with other things. That's more likely what happened. But this really does suck because um let me look at this. Futures contracts. It was like if the people actually knew any better, if they watched one episode of us, you wouldn't even have to go through them for the futures contracts. It'd be different if they're actually trading like altcoins and on the DeFi side and doing lending and like stuff you cannot kind of do on your own without learning. Like that's fair. If somebody would be like, no, I'm trading like different tokens on the DeFi side. I'm going dumpster diving and stuff. It's like, no, there's no institution, there's no groups, there's no hedge funds. Like there's no organizations or large groups that can trade like that for you right now. You have to find people or learn it on your own through like masterclass like ours, right? So I can understand that. But to do futures contracts, it's like shit. You might be able to go through your bank to do that by now, right? Like they're about to introduce ETF. So I would not have got a fund managers for future contracts. It says here defendants falsely represent that pool funds will be safe and under their control, that pool participants could expect high gains. See, the expect high gains part is the part that kind of probably threw them all, and that defendants would use pool funds to trade cryptos. You can actually see here. Why am I here? Let's see. Somebody in this group holds you in high regards. There's no catch or hidden agenda. Not here to scam you. Honest individuals pulling their funds together to make a profit collectively. Okay, if that's what the deal was, and it's for crypto, would not have done that for futures contracts. Again, they don't know what they're doing. Instead, around $4 million of the pool funds were transferred to digital wallets outside of the Griffiths' control, and more than $1 million were misappropriated to pay off personal debt and expensive items over a number of months, the CFTC alleged. That is where you can get in trouble at. You cannot use that money to pay off your debts, to pay off. I'm taking care of my school loan, my house right quick, but you can't do that. It says, I was just guessing that actually happened. It says $10,000 in college tuition for family members, $20,000 for an all-terrain vehicle, and $335,000 to pay off credit card debt. Yeah, you can't do that. A couple has been charged defrauding over 100 victims and failing to register with the CFTC. That's where the real deal is at. You get in $6 million from a pool investment fund, and you don't come tell Uncle Sam a little taste. You know what the deal is. I don't care if a nickel is being sold in the park. I want in. Keep telling you this shit. All right. So another one bites the dust. Yeah, again, you don't need a family and friends pool for futures. It's unfortunate to see that, but that is what's destroying the market right now as we speak. All right. Other than that, this let's see, last story of the day. I guess we were in on the good news story. This is where most of the stories are when the news cycle gets slow. They kind of zero in on certain projects and things. I really didn't want to go through too many projects because, like, by and large, for one, how Cointelegraph is. It was good, bad, or ugly. They're going to put the news. I saw in the last few updates and headlines, Bitcoin prices plummeting, Bitcoin prices about to pump, Bitcoin prices about to dump, Bitcoin prices about to pump. So they have to fill a void, which is the news article space, wherever, like we have to fill as far as talking about it. So since there weren't any big articles, it was mostly ones about projects. I didn't want to take on too many projects, but I did want to talk about this one because shout out to Reddit. It does have a huge community. It looks like they prepare to drop their Gen 4 collectible avatars on Polygon. So again, good for the overall market. Good to bring awareness to crypto. This is a base hit. So again, this is just a quick Reddit announcement. It looks like they're continuing to explore digital collectibles despite the significant downturn in the NFT industry. According to official announcement on Reddit collectible avatars, they're going to drop their latest series of collectibles on today, July 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific, titled Retro Reimagined. This is their new collectibles, fourth generation. So if you're into that type of thing, it looks like Reddit is still going. So again, this is cool to me because at least a huge community, a huge platform like Reddit is still pumping out NFT, crypto news, things of the like. If you want to actually take a peek at this series, go ahead and check out this article on Cointelegraph, or of course, go to Reddit. But I just want to make mention that the market is still alive and well, regardless of what direction it's going to today. So other than that, that is the show for today. Let's see. I'm seeing we got any last minute comment. PO said, I think there's going to be a dip before it pumps. I'm hoping so as well. But yeah, it looks like that's about it. Make sure you smash that like and share, and I'll see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news.